Welcome to the channel, welcome to the channel, welcome to the channel, yeah.
Hello. Hiya, nice to meet you. I don't think I've ever put my face on my channel. Here I am. Here it is. I'm sitting in my car in the car loop waiting to pick up my child. And I thought that I would share with you something that I have been wanting to do for a long time. And I was just kind of chickening out, like talking myself out of it. And I was told or encouraged to just do it. Just do it. So if you don't know, I'm Kamaria. Hi, hello. This is Black Siren Creates, which I'm, I guess, a journal tuber. I do journaling, and I have a whole bunch of different journals, and I do lots of different art. But I've been really wanting to kind of explore different avenues and kind of go in different directions, try out different things, because my heart is telling me to. You probably already saw from the title, I am going to start talking about books on my channel. So I'm going to call myself a part-time booktuber. And I'm going to do the Booktube Newbie tag, answer some questions, and just kind of introduce y'all to a different side of the channel. I'm not going to stop journaling, so I'll probably end up doing like 2 videos a week, maybe. One will be more journal centric, and one will be me just talking about books. So I have my handy dandy notebook here, and I'm just going to answer some questions so you guys can get to know me better and kind of slowly introduce y'all into what I want to do in the future. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. But so when I was doing my research of like the newbie tag, I don't remember who originated it. I just know that a lot of times when there's a new booktuber, they do the newbie tag. And I watched a whole bunch of them in like preparation for this. And no tea, no shade, not trying to call out whoever created it. I couldn't really narrow down who started it all. If you know, let me know in the comments. But some of the questions for me are just kind of boring. So I have like 20 questions here that I'm going to answer as quickly as possible. So this isn't like super long. But I have like a combination of the Booktube newbie tag, and then something called like quirky questions for readers. It was from a long time ago. I found it on a blog, if that doesn't tell you how old I am. So I think it originated by a girl at the Literary Lollipop, and then I actually found it on a page called Girl in the Pages, who's still super active in her blog. So just kind of more fun questions to get, so you can get to know me as a reader and stuff. So we'll start with the boring newbie tag questions. Number 1, why did you start your channel? Okay, so that's a loaded question. So Black Siren Creates, I started when I quit my job to be a stay-at-home mom. So I was actually a librarian. Like I went to school for it, worked in all the different places, the children's section, the front desk, everywhere. I was everywhere. Because that's what I always wanted to be. I've always loved to read, and that's just like my dream job. But I ended up quitting because I have 2 kids, and at the time they were really little. I didn't have reliable childcare, and both my kids are neurodivergent, so it was just really hard to kind of navigate who do I trust with my child who has, neurological differences. And so I kind of just took the L, even though I loved my job. So I took the L to stay home with them, but I was missing that like identity and like creative outlet. So I actually started drawing and doing bullet journal videos. And then that kind of transformed into kind of journal tube. So I do lots of junk journaling and collaging and art, and it just kind of become this like combination of drawing and journaling and, you know, gluing things to things, making stuff out of trash, just to get an outlet. And I in recent years have added a reading journal onto my channel, and usually I just show it to you guys and you can see what I'm reading or what I read in the month, but I kind of want just a separate video to just talk about books. So, you know, the journaling is not going to stop. It's just, I'm going to add another layer. We're like Shrek. We got layers. It's okay. Number 2, what are some unique things you can bring to Booktube? I think you can never have enough Black, queer, neurodivergent people talking about things and giving their point of view. I do think I'm unique just because I'm autistic, so and then I'm Black, I'm a woman, I'm queer. The end. Next one. Why do I love reading? When times get hard, I always go inside a book. I didn't have the best childhood, and, you know, so I could just go in a corner or go to the library and read and kind of forget how much my life sucked. And also I'm autistic, so like a lot of times I would read books, especially like romance novels or books about relationships, friendships, to figure out how to talk to people. Because I don't know how to talk to people most of the time, like in real life. Like I can talk to y'all, it's easy. Because you're not actually here in the room with me. So I read a lot of books just to kind of figure out how to talk to people, doing the small talk thing, so I could get the scripts in my head of, okay, this is what I'm supposed to say in this situation. This is what I'm supposed to do in this situation. And let's face it, real life just sucks sometimes. Give me magic any day. The next couple kind of go hand in hand, like when did you start reading or what book got you into reading? When did I start reading? I have this thing called hyperlexia, which basically means I could read at a very young age. Like, I'm not talking like I could comprehend it, but like I could read words really early, like 3 or 4. I was at a college reading level in like the 6th grade. It's not a flex, it's just facts. Like, I just always, like the dictionary, encyclopedias. My mom had like the whole set of like the world encyclopedias when I was a kid, and I would literally just read dictionaries and encyclopedias. What book got me like into fiction? The Babysitter's Club was a big one. Magic Treehouse was a big one. The Boxcar Children. I'm old. I'm so sorry. And randomly, like The Lord of the Rings. So imagine a 6-year-old reading The Hobbit. Yeah. So the last of the Booktube newbie tag questions, because I didn't do all of them because we don't have time for that. What kind of books do I like to read? I will read across the board. So I like fantasy. I like romance. I like science fiction. Throw in some mysteries in there. I used to be obsessed with them. Not so much anymore because they're very predictable and it's hard for me to find a mystery or a suspense that I won't figure it out by like chapter 3. I'll read it. I'll read anything. All right. So here for the bookish questions or quirky questions for readers. My favorite childhood book. So I know this is going to be controversial because we hate her now, but Harry Potter. Harry Potter was kind of the first time it was like, oh, magic and fantasy. Like, besides Lord of the Rings, because Lord of the Rings is a little dry for tiny people. So Harry Potter was the first time that I was like, holy crap. Like, totally immersed into a world. I know we don't like J.K. Rowling anymore, so don't come at me, please. 2, what am I reading right now? So this will actually answer one of the other questions at the same time. So I usually read more than one book at once because I'm a mood reader. So I always need to have like multiple books going at once, but they're always like in different genres. So I will always know like what's going on. I won't get confused. So right now I'm reading Music is History by Questlove, and it's freaking fascinating. It's basically about how history and music intersect and how they both influence each other. But it's also like challenging how we remember historical events and like how we get taught history in school, but that's not the whole story, and how art, media, all these different things kind of get influenced by historical events and vice versa. And I think it's really, really, really interesting. And then I'm also reading a book called The Naturalist Society. I don't remember who it's by, but it's basically about, it's set, I want to say, in like Victorian Bridgerton type times. But the magic system, so at the beginning, a girl is just obsessed with birds, and she just likes to track and count and catalog birds. But basically in this world, there's like a society, and it's all these like explorers and philosophers and adventurers and scientists that basically, if you go out into the wild and you collect specimens of like birds and animals and plants, once you classify it, you can kind of, based on the traits of the animal or the plant, you can get magic from it. So like this one guy, killed a polar bear when he was in the Arctic. And so he could manifest strength. There was one scene where the main character of the book was thinking about a bird's feather pattern and how it's red, and it made her think of fire. And then she started lighting candles. It's very, very interesting, the world's see. Books on hold at the library. I am a library girl. Like, I don't buy books. So that's not something you're going to get on this channel. If you want all those things, go find somebody else. Like, I'm not going to do haul videos because I don't buy books. I use Libby, and I do have Kindle Unlimited, but I don't buy books. The only time I will buy a book is if I know I'm going to read it again. But anyway, so the books that I have on hold on the library right now are Adrift in Currents Clean and Clear by Shannon McGuire. It's a part of the Wayward Children series, which is basically Portal. You go through a door, you're in a different world. And then Love After the End by Joshua Whitehead. I think it's a collection of like science fiction, speculative fiction love stories by trans people and Two-Spirit people, because Joshua Whitehead is Native American. So I got both those. Next question. What makes me love a book? But good writing, good world building. But sometimes, even if the world building sucks, if I can identify with the character, I'll like it. It just depends on what I'm in the mood for, because sometimes an author's writing, I won't like it in the moment, but I'll go back to it and like it later. So I won't want to say I only like one type of writing either, or one type of character, or one type of story. But if you can get me to care about the characters, no matter what they're doing, even if they are not good people, You got me. My favorite genre, I'm a sucker for romance because sometimes a girl just needs a happy ending. Low stakes. I don't want a third act breakup. I don't want a whole bunch of miscommunication. I'm here for vibes. Just find somebody to like and like each other. Happy endings always. I do also like fantasy and science fiction too. What is a genre you wish you read more? Nonfiction. Every year I wish I can get more into nonfiction, like memoirs and stuff. It never works. What is the most overhyped book, in my opinion? Oh my God, Fourth Wing. Or anything that gets big on Book Talk is annoying to me. Because I feel like those books are just kind of being pushed by publishing companies and marketing. And I don't actually think they're for people who actually like to read. So Fourth Wing, and if you like Fourth Wing, I'm definitely one of those people. Like, I don't really like to rate my books either, because just because I don't like it doesn't mean that it's a bad book or that other people won't like it. I think reading is so subjective that way. But Fourth Wing, for me, like, I went in there expecting high fantasy, not high fantasy. I knew it was going to lean more on the romance, which I don't mind. I like romance. Give me romance and dragons. Let's go. But to go into a book that's kind of described a certain way, like it's fantasy, there are dragons, there's an academy, like I'm expecting just a little bit of world building that makes sense to me. Like, and it just didn't. You're just kind of thrown in. The main character is very like Mary Sue. Oh, I'm weak, and everybody, underestimates me, but I'm a badass, and but I'm just gonna fall in love with a hunk. Like, and spoiler alert, you're gonna get spoilers on this page, so if you don't like it, there's the door. Like, in the first beginning chapters, everybody be dying and nobody cares. Like, I can't go into a book and you expect me to like feel the danger and, oh my gosh, nobody survives this academic dragon school, but then everybody's dying, and it almost makes it like arbitrary. Like, I don't care. Like, you're not making me care that. You're not making me feel the danger. You're not making me care that, oh shit, everybody's dying. It's almost like, people are just put there and like picked off. And it's almost like you don't even get the severity of the things that are happening. It wasn't for me. I DNF'd it. Most overhyped book, in my opinion, is Fourth Wing. My favorite poet. I get down with some Pablo Neruda. I get down with Nicholas Guillen. He's a Caribbean poet. Really good. The Diaspora. It hits. I've been trying to read more poetry. I think Amanda Corman. I read one poetry book last year by, I think it's an author named Ocean Vuong, maybe? Ocean Vuong? And his imagery is really nice. My favorite fictional character. There's so many to choose from, but I would probably have to pick. The main character from one of my favorite books, who her name escapes me, which is really embarrassing because I've read that book a million times. But the main character in the Xenogenesis series by Octavia Butler. I'll put here on the screen. Octavia Butler is one of my favorite authors of all time. You will never change my mind. R.I.P. Like, talk about an author taken too soon. Too soon. Favorite villain? And I know we don't like Harry Potter, but Bellatrix Lestrange, Homegirl was just twisted AF, okay? Like, she was just chaotic evil. And she killed my homeboy Sirius Black, and I can't get down with that. We love to hate her. My favorite film adaptation of a book. There's been so many of them. Okay, I have two. The first film adaptation that I thought was pretty good, considering like book to movie, The Color Purple. And I know that Alice Walker can be a little problematic too, but that book and that movie, I mean, The Color Purple, the original Color Purple with Whoopi Goldberg, came out in 1985. And if you're Black, you already know. Like, my father, that movie was playing on repeat when I was a child. One of the best movies thematically. You can watch it today. It still holds up. That book, it has so many layers of the Black experience, queer experience, the female experience. It's amazing. And I think from the book to the movie, they were very true to the book. And then the second one, The Hunger Games. The Hunger Games. I know, like, for a time, dystopian books had everybody in a freaking choke hold. But The Hunger Games was good. I don't care what you say. I love The Hunger Games, and the movies were also really good, very, very close to the books. And Team PETA. Okay. 2 more questions. This is already really long. Hopefully you're still here. What makes me DNF a book? Lots of things. If I'm not feeling the writing, if I'm not feeling the voice of the character, if I don't like the subject matter, if I'm not in the mood for it. Let's be real. I'm the queen of DNFing. I refuse to read a book if I'm not enjoying it. There are so many books out there, especially nowadays, that I don't have to waste my time if I'm not having a good time. And the last question that I have for you today is, what is my guilty pleasure read or genre? No, I love a good smut. Alien romance, monster romance. You know, you're a half bull man. You got spider legs. Smut has a season if you're in for it and you're feeling some type of way. Back in the day, our moms had Fabio on the cover showing his nipples. So I think I can like a monster romance and feel no shame. Okay? But anyway, that's all I have for you today. I know this is very super long and kind of out of left field, but hopefully you will come on this journey with me if you're into books. And if you're not, I'm still going to have my journaling content, so don't worry. But that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.